Hey, it's me. Here is going to be video number 8 for part 2. There's a video before that was part 1, this is part 2. So part 2 is going to be a little bit longer, so please bear with me. And I hope you guys don't get lost, because it is kind of jumbled. Because I found pieces from here to there, so I try to put it together, and I hope it doesn't get you confused. But like I said, I will write everything and write it down, and you can read it from the bottom in the comment box, okay? Oh, not the comment, description box. Okay, so here we go. So this is also another one. This is the insurance. Will Michael Jackson go to jail for faking his death? Part 2. So this is a good question that I've read. Did Michael Jackson commit insurance fraud? In this video, I will discuss the Lloyds of London insurance lawsuit against Michael Jackson's company and LLOYD'S. Lloyds of London sued Michael Jackson's company, which is owned by the estate. Michael ran his own company himself. Nobody was his beneficiary. Why is Lloyds of London suing the estate and not the estate suing Lloyds of London? Well, there was a physical done of Michael in February 2009 by a doctor who specializes in ear, nose, and throat, an ENT, which Michael passed the physical with flying colors, and also his personal trainer Louis, who trained Mr. Jackson in the months prior to his death, testified that MJ looked great and was in fine shape. Then there was an accident policy on April 24th, 2009. The policy was provided to give him $17.5 million to cover in exchange for a premium of $43,500. So basically, Michael Jackson had to pay $437,500 to get an insurance policy of $17.5 million. So far, there is no proof that the insurance was paid off, meaning that we're not sure if Michael paid the money to them to get that $17.5 million. We are not sure. There's no proof. And also, there is no death policy that was paid either. So basically, if in case that Michael really died, he has to have insurance, just in case when he dies, he has the money. So there was nothing there. There was nothing paid off. I don't think he ever had a death that type of policy. So now here is the part that will get a little confusing, okay? And the accident policy, which was never approved because Michael Jackson had to go through another physical, meaning that the accident policy, which was that $17.5 million policy, was never approved until he got his second physical. So his second physical was for the Lloyds of London, which was supposedly happened in July of 2009 for the Lloyds of London, for the insurance company that is in UK but also has company in the United States. Lloyds of London asked Michael Jackson to provide 5 years of medical records the morning before his death announcement. MJ told Dr. Murray to tell the agent no, that they're not going to get any records. Lloyds of London asked Michael, was he ever used to be on alcohol or drugs, or used to abuse drugs or alcohol. The first trial from the molestation, Michael did a video where he said he is going to go for treatment to using drugs. So why did they ask that question, which we know Michael Jackson used drugs? AE Live withdraw the policy because they claimed that they made more than $34 million that loaned Michael Jackson for the ticket sale and the publicity of the This Is It tour. So basically, why did the Lloyd of London ask Michael Jackson, does he ever abuse alcohol or drugs? So, knowing that the policies is they ask you a lot of questions. So if you need insurance policy, they ask you for medical records, and they have a reason to deny your claim for to get the insurance. For his case, when the Lloyd of London insurance company asked Michael for his insurance records, he said no. So they hacked him and mocked him. Oh, that you abuse drugs and you're going to a treatment center, so we're not going to give you that insurance policy, which entails that he will not get that $17.5 million. So they're saying that that's the reason, but they're saying that, oh, that you made enough money from This Is It tickets and the publicity, you know, of tour of advertising This Is It, that he made enough money. So that's the reason why they didn't give him the money. So which entails that he did not have an insurance under This Is It, because they wouldn't allow him to have it because he had enough money from the promoting the tour. So backtrack it, meaning that Michael Jackson did not have any insurance, any injury insurance or accident insurance, any insurance just in case he falls down on the tour. He doesn't have insurance for that. He had enough money for it, which we don't know if that's true or not because we have no evidence, but he did pay his debt, so I'm assuming that he still has no money, but we will see. I have to find some information. Isn't it convincing that Michael Jackson never signed any insurance policy, nor he never talked to anyone, just a third-party doctor that examined him under the name Mark Jones? Okay, so he never signed any insurance policy. So if you do not sign on the dotted line, it's not a go. It's a no-go, right? So I don't know if you know, in the case of the Conrad Murray, where they showed a lot of prescription bottles, and they had different names. You know, so some of them, like I said, Peter Madoni, which is a Twitter account, Peter Madowny, which is a Twitter account, Peter, which is another Twitter account, and stuff like that. And he used another one where it's called Mark Jones, and they had a picture of it. So when the insurance policy was brought together, and before he signed, because remember, the second physical was not supposed to happen until he reached London, but the first physical he passed. So in the physical paper, which you can look on the internet, where it has that he is approved to start, you know, his tour, but it says not Michael Jackson, it says Mark Jones is approved to start touring. So that was something interesting that I saw. Like, it was really interesting. Like, why would you put yourself as Mark Jones? Because he knew from the bottom of his heart that he's not going to be doing these tours. So again, it's really interesting that he used that Mark Jones, because that Mark Jones was on the thing where it showed a picture of a prescription bottle in the past. So therefore, it is technically that Michael Jackson depended on protecting himself from insurance fraud. So he protected himself. So instead of putting his real name, he put Mark Jones, because the first physical he passed, but in his he knows that he was not going to pass the second physical, because they knew that he used to use drugs and that they were not going to use it, to give him the insurance policy. So he was saying to himself and thinking with his other people that the first insurance policy that was brought out was going to go against him and do insurance fraud, which would say, okay, this is Michael Jackson's insurance policy, he signed it, and blah 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 blah. But they not know that he signed it or he put Mark Jones. So he knew in the bottom of his heart that somebody was going to take his money for insurance. So that was interesting. Think about it. Look it up. It's really interesting. Therefore, did Michael intentionally misrepresent himself, meaning putting himself as Mark Jones, that he will ever want to be treated for excessive drug and alcohol abuse? As you know, Michael Jackson made that big video live from Neverland where he was sitting in the chair with a red shirt, really sad, saying that I'm going to a treatment center for dependency of drugs. So, is that fraud or just misunderstanding? You figure this out and you let me know. Alrighty? So please comment, subscribe. Hope this didn't confuse you. I'm sure it did not. I will write everything back on the description box below so you can read everything. I will talk to you later.